Now entries become very easy, probably, hopefully that is very simple. We just have to buy into the last growth wave, the last motive growth wave on the market. For swing traders is going to be the 1 hour chart, and the last growth wave in the market for day traders is going to be the 15-minute chart. It's really that simple. Now we first want to understand the current swing that we're in. What are we actually buying in? We're buying still inside of that Elliott structure. There's that Elliott channel that we had on the 4 hours and the 1 hour. This is now a 1 hour chart that we're looking at. And that Elliott channel earlier, about 2 days ago, or even 1.5 days ago, we were actually adhering to the lower boundary of that Elliott channel at 38.2% at that level here. All right, now of course we broke right out all the way to 78.2%. Right, let's take a look at the internals. The internals, of course, are the same labels that we have on the daily. This is high degree 3. We know this. It shows on the daily as a high degree 3. There is a high degree 4 here that we cannot really see. And then we had an internal 1, an internal 2. There is even a smaller degree 1 and a 2. There is a smaller degree 3 and a 4. Right, that wave 5 that is now occurring actually does an internal 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5. Now this is going to be higher degree 3 relating to this green label here in 1. It should be doing some kind of a correction with degree 4. Of course, if you go to the basics of technical analysis, a degree 4 will test that internal degree 1 showing here. Not in this kind of environment, of course, because of the continuous positive momentum plot throughout. Of course, also it cannot fall below that high degree level 3 in the first place. All right, so even if this was a degree 4 as shown here, we have that label now here. This is a high degree 4 again, relating to that higher degree 3. This degree 4 is what we are expecting as a correction. If not today, maybe tomorrow, relates to that high degree, that internal sort of view. So this is only going to probably test either level 3 or level 1 inside of this growth structure. Right? For swing traders or position traders, our best entries, we wait for a retraction shown here by these massive green lines. That retraction should take us to test level 3 because the market is bullish, and if we do projections right from the market top all the way to the current bottom of this motive wave in white that ends up in this 5 in white and 5 in yellow, we should be able, for swing traders, buy 50% and 61.8%. Right, 50% comes in, 61.8 comes in at 127.8, 50% comes in at 127.3. We have a cycle translation axis here. We're joining level 3 with the top of that internal level 3 or a 1. We could expect a bounce at these levels. So going forward, we'd have half size at each of these levels. We just need a hedge below level 3 altogether. So usually the market should not correct outside of that Elliott channel at this point, and therefore if we have a hedge at that level, we're really outside of the channel altogether. That level comes in at 126. Exactly at 126. This means that buying 127.3, 127.8 averages around 127.55 with a hedge at 126. We're looking at 150 points risk per mini. This is of course a swing trade. Swing trade or a position trade means that we're going to be holding it for something like 2 weeks. And in these 2 weeks, we expect to take out, this is going to be a degree 4 correction. It's going to do an A and a B and a C. Along these lines, of course, we have a strong fundamental on our side, all right, and that is the current increase in short-term interest rates coming up next month. So it doesn't have to be a lengthy prolonged correction. We doubt it will be a lengthy prolonged correction. Anyway, over the course of 2 weeks, we expect to see 130.5, that level shown here, and even 131. take profits. We'll do another hedge. The hedge means that if we fall below this level, 126, we're seeing the head and shoulders. We simply open an equal amount of sells to our buys, wait for the market to do the correction, close out at the next neckline. Next neckline usually is showing that other yellow arrow here. And this close out the shorts at this point, or even level 1, that internal level 1. Take in the money and let the longs reverse and run higher to target, or at least to the same head or slightly shorter head, lower head. Right, let's take a look at short-term traders. Of course, going for swing and position traders, going into that meeting on the 15th, I believe it's around the 15th of May, maybe before, for the Federal Reserve. We could, of course, if you're doing a position trade, you could let the trade run to 132 and 134, at least 161.8. So let's do the short term. The short term would mean that we're simply buying into this current growth wave from 4 to 5 on the 15-minute chart. We have it detailed. We're buying from 4 in white to 5 in white. Internally, it shows into 1, 2, a 3, and a 4, and a 5. There is a correction going on. We usually buy the pivot level every day. This is seen right now. Pivot level today is 128.3. We would buy it, or 50% between S1 and the pivot level. 50% between S1 and the pivot level comes in at 127.9 or 128. We could, of course, do internal projections. We know all now how to do these internal projections. You know this is an A, and it's going to be a B and a C, and fine-tune the entry. Right, and by doing that internal projection and relating it to any of these internal pivots, buying at the pivot level around 128.20 would just have a hedge at 127. Of course, the hedges we need it to be just below that level, or that level 3. So it's either 127 or maybe 126.70 or 126. This is a cycle 3, meaning the strategy that we do not expect to see more than the pivot level on the 15-minute chart on a daily basis holds, is valid here. We would simply buy Asia time early every day, the pivot level, and 50% between the pivot level and S1. Take it to R1 if you're short-term traders. R1 here is showing at 129.58. So today we're buying 128.3 right about now. We could expect to see 129.6 in 1.5 days time.